He'll sort of be telling me what to do, and we can just follow along and have fun with it.
So, if you got the email from her, I think she told you what we're going to be cooking and your ingredients. So, if you're following along, that's cool. If you're watching and taking notes, that's cool as well. Peel some potatoes. We've got our 2 pounds of potatoes. You got your ingredients. I'm going to walk Jasmine through it, and you guys follow along, or you can take notes, whatever you're comfortable with. Okay, so while she's peeling the potatoes, I'm going to put some water in this pot. Great, wonderful. Cut those in half. Now, as you can see, Jasmine left some skin on here. I don't mind the skin, but some people do mind the skin.
We're not gonna mind it today.
Right, we're not gonna mind it today. Actually, I'll leave it on. It gives it a whole other flavor.
Completely on?
Yeah. Especially bread potatoes. Now here's a trick with potatoes too. Now, some people like them really creamy. I like texture to my potatoes, so I'll either leave the skin on, or I'll like cut them unevenly. Some small and some chunky. That way when I'm mixing it, I'll have chunks of potatoes in it.
On the screen.
Let's put these in. And we're gonna put rinse them off, and then put a little water and salt in them. Now when you're, this pot is fairly deep, as you can see. But when you're boiling potatoes, only put enough water to where it's covered. You don't want your potatoes, you don't want a pot of water in this much of potatoes. You want the water just right above it, okay? I'll make sure you how to do that. I'll do it like this. Okay, put some water in just enough to where. Okay, there isn't a lot of water in there. Just enough to where the potatoes are covered. We're going to start our chicken next.
You're rinsing chicken.
Okay, she just rinsed the chicken.
And then just put on here, right?
Yeah. 2. Long strokes. We don't want to saw, because if you, I'll show you what it looks like when you saw. Okay, I'm not good at sawing, but it's kind of torn right there. Let's see. You'll get that if you like really saw, or if you use a serrated knife. And you know, if you don't know what serrated knives are, they're the knives that have the teeth in it, okay? This has no teeth, it's just a sharp blade. So the way I started was just a long stroke, okay? So I got a smooth piece of chicken, and this is butterfly.
How many chickens?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I just threw it down. Okay, so what was the question?
How many chickens?
How many chickens? Okay, this calls for 4 servings. So it'll be 2 breasts cut in half. My hand flat on top. That's to add pressure and to keep my knife steady. So if I'm doing this, the meat will move and I won't be able to get the straight cut. Okay, so and we're not cutting all the way through unless you want to. If you want to cut all the way through, that's perfectly fine. So here's our,
Got it.
okay?
It looks so easy when you do it. Okay, now what's next?
Okay, so let's salt and pepper our chicken.
Okay.
If you see where it falls, you'll know that it's working.
Yeah. Is that enough salt?
Yeah, that's good. So we're gonna flip it over and do it again.
Okay. And then we're gonna do it to the other side.
But it's not coming on. I mean, I don't think there's anything for you to do other than for us to just wait for it to come in. So next we're gonna dredge it, okay?
Sure.
Putting it with flour. We're not gonna batter the chicken. You batter it for frying, because we're not frying. We gotta get a skip going too. So we're gonna put just a little. This is like maybe a half a cup. And I do this to lay it flat, because we're just gonna run the chicken over it, okay? All right, so we've got our skillet here, and we've got our flour. We're gonna warm our skillet. It calls for 5 to 6 tablespoons. That actually translates to the skillet just being coated with olive oil. We're not frying anything, we're browning it, okay? So just drizzle some olive oil over it.
All right, just tell me
That's great. That's great. So this is lightly coated. You can't really see it, but it's not a pool of grease in there, just to let you know. And let's check on our potatoes. If you can stick your fork in it and it doesn't fall apart, it's not ready. If you stick your fork in it and it's still whole, no. When you put your fork in it and it separates, we're good to go. So if your potatoes are separating, it's time to take them out. If they're solid, let them cook maybe another 3 to 5 minutes, okay? So our grease is getting hot. We're gonna put it on a medium heat. Medium to low heat. And the reason for that is we don't want to overheat it because our chicken will darken too quick and it'll burn. Now we're not cooking it, we're just browning it, okay? So one way to tell that your oil is okay. This is something I do. I don't suggest you do it, but I've been doing it for years. I just wave my hand over it. If I feel consistent heat, I know it's fine for me to put my chicken in it. Okay, some people splash water in it. I don't recommend it unless you like dealing with grease splashes or burns, grease splotches on your hands or something. I don't do that, so I just put my hand over it. So this is nice and warm. We can put the chicken in, it will sizzle a bit, it won't all over the place, it's perfect. So I'm gonna do the first piece, Jasmine.
Yeah.
I'm touching chicken. Okay, you see how it's lightly coated? Just that simple. I'll lay it on its back first. Or should I say, on its front. What would you call that? The smoothest part, I'll lay it on there first because I want that to brown first. That's the part you'll present when you put it on someone's plate. So the smooth side, lay that out first. So let's flip it. Are you okay with flipping it or you want me to?
Oh yeah, whatever.
So that's lightly brown. It's not super brown. We're going to do them one at a time. Now,
All right, I'm gonna do it over again. So. Do you need more than this?
no, that's perfect. Can you see that?
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's good.
This one? Yeah.
Awesome! I heard you, Gabby. This is our mixing bowl. How you know, you don't have to use a measuring spoon for it. Just see 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. We're gonna cut 2 off of those, and we're gonna drop it into our potatoes.
How many?
2.
We just throw it in there?
Yes, just throw it in there.
How much did we put? I'm sorry.
2 tablespoons.
Okay, I'm back. We're gonna put a whole tablespoon in. Okay. Really, it's up to you.
I'll just do half of it.
She's doing half. I was being silly. Let's follow the recipe, okay?
Only because I don't like sour cream.
Oh, she's doing it because she doesn't like sour cream.
Use a whole cup. Or whole.
So here's the thing that I'd like to pass this on to you guys. Whenever I'm cooking and I'm following a recipe, I follow it for the first time. I follow it to a T, like everything, temperatures, measurements, all of it. And I eat it for what they say or how they say it should be prepared. And when I make it a second time, I make my adjustments there, okay? So I think that's a fair way to, 1, learn to cook, and 2, customize. If you don't know how it's supposed to be made in the first place, you know, how could you know you know, in what way you can make changes. So at the start of a recipe, if you want to add more salt, I don't recommend doing that. Let's do that the next time you make it, if that makes sense to you guys. Okay, so we've got the salt, the sour cream, the butter. No, we don't have salt, I'm sorry. Sour cream, butter. We're gonna do the whipping cream, okay? So you wanna measure that out, Jasmine? So we have, this is a whole cup, or we're gonna do a half cup. So let's do this together. And I appreciate you guys, you know, for bearing with me with all these technical difficulties. She poured the absolutely perfect half cup of whole whipping cream. Go ahead and pour that in. Okay, if you have a potato masher, that's awesome. You can get them really, really mashed and mixed. If you have a mixer that you want to use, you can really get them fluffy. Because there's something about the fat and whole cream that plumps things up. That's how you make whipped cream and stuff like that. So, but we're gonna mash them with a wooden spoon, all because we have a metal bowl. You never want to put metal on metal. Some type of chemical thing that I can't explain, but I understand. See, look, it's almost there, right?
Yeah.
This is how your potatoes should look, okay? If you want it creamier, have at it. If you have a KitchenAid mixer, put it in there. I promise you they'll be the fluffiest you've ever had. Do you like them smoother than this, or do you mind the chunks?
No, I don't mind chunks.
Yeah, see, I like the chunks too. Okay. We're gonna sit this off to the side, and we're browning the rest of the chicken. If you're waiting, you've mashed your potatoes and all your chicken is brown, let's juice our lemon. This is quite all right. Flavor from natural lemons. Here's a suggestion for your lemon pepper. Like some people like lemon pepper on their fried chicken. That's fine. They sell it dried and you can shake it on there if you like that. But it tastes just as good, if not better, with fresh ground pepper and fresh lemon. Okay, so let's cut our lemon. So I have a juicer for my lemon. I'm gonna squeeze it in here. This is measure a third cup. Quite a third. So what I'm seeing is a third is like one whole lemon juice.
Nyesha, are we adding the liquid ingredients to the pan?
Absolutely. The same pan we were frying in. Yeah. So you should have brown bits left over in your pan. That starts off a gravy. Even if you're cooking something else, you can actually make a gravy out of what's left in a pan. It'd be really thin, not thick though, but it'll give that brown color, okay? And that nutty flavor. Once our chicken is done browning, we're gonna do some butter, the capers, and the lemon juice and the chicken stock. Okay, I'm gonna use the browning from the pan. All right? So this is what we're left with. See all that? It's not a whole lot. You should have this left over in your pan. Okay. Let's cut our fire off here. We don't want that to burn because it'll blacken. So let's cut it off. Okay, so where are we? Is everyone ready to start their sauce? And all your chicken? Okay, I got a thumbs up from Gabby. Where are you, Sarah?
Honestly, keep cutting out. I have the lemon juice and the chicken stock and the capers in the pan.
Good.
I forgot what else has to be in there other than the butter. Do we put flour in there?
Okay, so you should have had flour left over from your chicken. Did you? Or did you start over from... You cleaned it out?
I have more.
No, well, okay, so what you don't want to do is you do not want to add raw flour to it.
Okay.
That's a whole other element. That's a process within itself. Like that's another way of preparing, but not for this dish. You're gonna need the nuttiness from it.
I have some of the leftovers.
Yeah, that's fine.
Use that.
Okay.
Okay,
It
so
smells really good. That combination, the citrus.
I figured it would, yeah. Okay, let's put so we're gonna put our capers. Let me put our our butter first. Let's do our butter in the pan. If you're with us, if you're ahead, that's super cool. Doesn't matter.
This whole stick of butter?
Yes, because that's the 6 tablespoons that we need. Okay, so let's turn our eye back on if it's not on.
What about the parsley? Do we throw that in there or is that at the end?
Garnish.
Garnish, okay.
We're just gonna blend it
Yeah.
up.
Matter of fact, throw your capers in, your lemon juice.
In here?
Yes. And then we need to measure out your chicken stock. So for that, you're gonna need a half cup of that. And I'll pour that in while you're mixing that, okay?
Now lemon juice, so butter, capers, lemon juice.
Yes. And then we're gonna put a half cup of chicken stock.
And half cup of chicken stock. We're not there yet.
We're melting the butter. So once that melts, we're gonna put the chicken in. We're gonna put a top over it, okay? Yeah, because that's really all it has room for. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna put our How is your sauce? Now at this point you can add more chicken stock to it to give more of a chicken flavor. At this point you can add the salt and your pepper to it. Let's do it. Uh-oh, look at that. Let's move it around. Yeah. It should be getting a little thicker. You want to pull that over here so you can see? Okay guys, I'm going to show you how it looks. Is yours looking like that? Okay, awesome.
Do you flip it or no?
No. Oh. Now you can flip it, but I like the top of it to be brown and to stay brown. But if you turn it over, the sauce will cover it and it'll look just saucy. Okay? So that's why I don't recommend flipping it. And it's thin enough to cook through and through, staying on one side. Okay. You should be about done. That was a little under 5 minutes, but looking at the chicken, I've been cooking for so long, I can tell when it's done. If you want to put a thermometer to it, I think it's 165 for chicken. If you want to be sure about that. Of course, I don't want anyone to get sick, but I can tell from looking at this that our chicken is done. So let's plate.
Cute. Where's my dogs?
Let's
Oh,
plate.
now I can hear.
You can hear
Now
now?
I heard Sarah, yeah.
Okay. Okie dokie, artichoke. Let's turn this in. That pond's and that piece kind of broke. That's okay. Then you get your parsley lemon. Find the Italian parsley has a stronger flavor. If that matters to you, it doesn't matter to me, okay? But presentation, try some. I'm just gonna break this. I will spin.
So good.
That's so good. Oh, I love it. Okay, so shameless plug here. John Cooks. You guys can follow my videos. I need to be more consistent on posting them, guys, but I cook all the time. If I videoed every time I cooked, I'd have so many videos. But I do post them. I try to do once a week, but I've been averaging like once a month. Promise I'll get better. I'm on TikTok. Got maybe one video. Oh my God, TikTok. TikTok. I'll be putting something on TikTok, but I am on Facebook. I do have Instagram, I have Twitter, and my website is www.burgeoncook.com. All right, so if you guys, and you can email me any questions, or even if you have ideas of something you'd like for me to cook and maybe walk you guys through, I'll be more than happy to do a video and post it and let you know once I've done it. So I hope you've enjoyed yourselves. I hope I didn't bore you. Thank you for being in my kitchen, and it was nice having you guys.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.